solo video here from me, Mark, Basshead4, on the Dr. Rhythm channel. Yes, I am wearing a dressing gown, but so what? We're listening to, well, this video I should say before we start, it's, I guess it's a tribute to the VC and some of the great people on it, and actually just a selection of music that I wanted to share that I've been turned on to by watching videos on the VC. So it seems appropriate. We're listening to something by Ian O'Brien, and this is an album which was shared, I guess, by someone who kind of really epitomizes who the VC is. That's Derek Higgins. This is the album. Ian O'Brien's History of Things to Come. Yeah, I'd never heard of this album. Turns out I actually know the publishing company Bucks Music very well, who publish it, but I hadn't heard of this. Kind of quite jazzy, fusiony, beatsy, ambient kind of vibe. Couple of covers. It's a double album. We're listening to Midwestern Night's Dream, a cover of the Pat Metheny tune. Teen Towns on here from Jaco Pastorius Weather Report, but all kind of done with an original twist. Really nice double vinyl album. Came out in 2001, UK. Second selection from somebody who I guess was probably one of the first people that I watched on the VC, and who made a brief reappearance early in the year and then seems to have disappeared, which of course is Seko Funk, and maybe an uncharacteristic album that he shared, but I was interested. He did a Needle Drop. It's the album from a couple of years back, I think. Miguel, yeah, 2012, and the track Kaleidoscope Dream, which was kind of, still is kind of just a refreshingly modern twist on R&B with definitely a kind of psychedelic aspect to it. Very nice double vinyl. Next up is somebody whose enthusiasm I love and is a regular, and it's Jonas from Sweden, and he showed fairly recently, I think, this album, which is the Quiet Sun album called Mainstream. Definitely a bit tongue-in-cheek. There's nothing very mainstream about it. Features a drummer who I know well, and Charles Hayward, ex of This Heat. Yeah, great album. I've been really enjoying Phil Manzanera's work actually this year. Really been getting into Diamond Head, his solo, and also 801 Live. Fantastic stuff. So yeah, thanks Jonas for turning me on to that. Another VC legend. Just finished watching one of his videos, and that's of course Fred, Big Star 1000, and his, as he says, his favourite Neil Young album, which is On the Beach. Neil Young, who's also a big favourite of my friend John, who we often do videos together. John actually gave me an incredible 8 CD compilation of Neil Young stuff, none of which is on any of the kind of regular albums. But yeah, so I've just been really getting into Neil Young this year, and this is a fantastic album, On the Beach, a great place to start on your Neil Young journey. And I have to say, it's a very varied journey, so many different styles and tunes, amazing. So bang up to date with a record which Tony, Mr. Fartboy, showed, and I had actually just got as well, like a couple of days before, the new album by Goat called Commune, on a beautiful splatter vinyl. Just worth having a quick look actually. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, I sort of said in the comments to Tony, it's a kind of Tinariwen is the band I'm thinking, that kind of North African vibe with the guitars, but also kind of strangely kind of vocals that remind me of the Slits, or some of those kind of early 80s post-punk bands with female vocals. And then this kind of, yeah, at times amazing kind of fuzzed out, acid drenched lead guitar, kind of catchy tunes as well, and a bonus 7-inch single. So just come out, Goat, Commune, definitely worth checking. Yes, another VC legend is John Coltrane 68, who delighted to see him appearing quite a lot again on the VC with always amazing music, most of which I've never heard of, but always great to see his videos and feel his vibe and his spirit. And yes, a while back he was showing, I think it was kind of psych folk tracks, it was some kind of Give Me 10 thread. Anyway, Michael Gregory Jackson, Cowboys, Cartoons and Assorted Candy. Basically a guitarist, Michael Gregory Jackson. I didn't know anything about him at all, but I really, really love this album. Very gentle, beautiful, ethereal, soulful, just great. Really, really nice album. Highly recommended on the Enya label, and I think it's again, yeah, from 1982. Yes, another very prolific poster, again someone with a really interesting taste aesthetic, very varied, and someone whose opinions I value when I watch their videos. That's Roger Coleman. Hello Roger. He showed this album, Wata, earlier this year. It's all acoustic, quite atmospheric at times, some beautiful strings at times. Not really sure what genre I could put this in, but yeah, check it out on YouTube if you want to hear more. Just quite a varied, interesting listen. Yeah, I've just been getting back into this again. Yes, another great VC member has got to be Chris1427 Basket from Switzerland, and I remember him showing this Manuel Gotching album, E2, E4, and but yeah, having heard a lot about this album, kind of an album that's, yes, many people see as kind of the birth of a particular kind of ambient techno kind of vibe, but actually sounding very synthy, but all played on guitar. Beautiful album, and thank you Chris for showing this one. I'm very pleased it got that. Another brand new album, and this is Thank You Tony, Mr. Fartboy, for no, not Tony, it was Mike, Bostonian Reggie, for showing this one. And it's the album Twice by Holly Cook, produced by Prince Fatty, UK reggae album with a strong kind of lovers rock vibe, a very sort of early 80s UK reggae sound, some strong songs, again some very nice string arrangements on this. That's the kind of little surprise twist. Yes, so Holly Cook, who is the daughter of Paul Cook, the drummer of the Sex Pistols. First tune, just talking of the Slits earlier on, is called Ari Up, sort of a tribute to the lead singer of the Slits. Nice album, and yes, that whole kind of Prince Fatty kind of contemporary UK meets Jamaica kind of dubby sound is really nice. Another great fave of mine on the VC is all the way from Ireland, is Ben Costello. Not maybe a typical selection that I got from Ben, but I do remember him talking very enthusiastically from his hip-hop days. Dead Prez and the track Hip Hop which has just one of the most monstrous bass lines ever. And I was very pleased to pick this up on a 12-inch, and thank you very much, Ben, for sharing that one. Sensational stuff. Then we go over to Sweden, Anders. Again, Anders, I think one of the first people who commented when me and John put a video up, and I think Anders has a connection, if I'm right, from Fred's video with this album. Time is a Mountain, sort of Swedish prog jazz album from last year, which it kept being shown last year by various people. So I mean, if there was only 300 copies, I reckon 100 of them must have been picked up by people in the VC. But a great album if it's still around, anybody. Very fresh, very original, kind of organ heavy. Not sort of, no sort of showing off. Interesting compositions, great sounds, lovely cover. And then last of all, I was going to share something I don't think anyone else has shown yet. People probably aren't aware of it. So there's an interesting scene in Deal. So I live eastish Kent, so not far from Canterbury. There's a place called Deal, and every year they have a festival called the Smugglers Festival. And Sid Arthur are deeply involved and always seem to play at that. Also a band called Jouis, Jouis, who are from Brighton. They've just released their first full-length vinyl album, and it's called Dojo, and it's highly recommended. I mean, it's just great to see young bands who can really play, who are doing something fresh, who are not following the crowd. And I guess when I hear this, I kind of hear I sort of hear a mix of kind of early 70s Floyd mixed with sort of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young harmonies, and interesting non-4/4 rhythms, but very much a kind of pastoral English compositional thing going on. I know these guys are very into their analog sounds. They've built their own studio. The whole album was recorded on tape, so it's non-digital. You can find them on Bandcamp, Jouis. I think a lot of people in the VC could really like these guys, so do support them. And yeah, that's it. Nice to hear from you. We'll look forward to hearing some comments, and maybe there could be a new trend here of videos where people post up music that's been inspired by watching VC videos. Good night.